What's up, guys? This is Vinny. This is another update on my manga project, D Hunter. And what you see before you is the entire map of the world of D Hunter. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about four things: the world itself, the story's route through this world, what is a D Hunter in terms of their powers and what they're supposed to do, and Cal's epic quest to save this world. Let's start. So this is the world of D Hunter. The world is currently experiencing the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. Their own technology that used to utilize magic to power it is becoming obsolete. Magic in the world is depleting, and not too many people are being born with the power to manipulate magic anymore. There are only 100 at least left of people who could utilize magic and manipulate it to their will. One of these people actually followed Cal through his adventures through the world. He's a mentor and his guide. His name's Lucian, and he'll be in a character description in another video. But let's focus on the world now. The world is basically, or a third of the world is encompassed by a government entity known as the world government. The government encompasses the Kingdom of Westmist, a Karima Imperium, Kingdom of Kol Sharak, Sumerian Empire, and Osiris, which is the Holy Land of the Trinity. The Trinity, or the Fellowship of the Trinity, is one of the major religions in the world. And then we have North Point, which is the highest northern point in the world. And there, the world government's research and development department is stationed. And then we have the Savage Lands. The Savage Lands is basically an island. Well, it is an island that the world basically dumps all their criminals, whatever you could think of, into this island. And it's basically one of the most hardest to get into and the hardest to get out. And then there's the section of the independents. The independents are basically nations that are independent or still independent of the world government's influence. These nations are the Luvian. They're basically the elf nation, and it's a confederacy of elven tribes all living together and improving the nation. There's only one city actually in this entire nation, while the rest are nomadic tribes moving around in the nation. And then we have the tribal woodlands, and this section of the world is not a nation at all. It houses a bunch of tribal tribes, and basically the world sees this section in the world as barbarians and savages who live here, because they are seen as uncivilized. And then we have the Merchant Republic. The Merchant Republic is basically the only republic or democratic type government that is in existence in the world, and there encompasses five mini nations that are basically merchant republics themselves, and they all work together in their common goal for profits. And then we have Wave Island, and this island is almost also independent. It's a city-state, and this is where our hero of the story, Cal the Luz, starts his journey. And now, within the world government's grasp, we start with the Kingdom of Westmist. The Kingdom of Westmist is mostly mountainous, and they're just a nation, one of the three superpowers of the world. We have Akarima Imperium, which is where the world government started its influence. Kingdom of Kol Sharak, which is a dwarven kingdom. And then we have Sumerian Empire, which is an empire that was still within the world government, and it's also one of another religious faction, which is basically a rival to Osiris, the nation that is the Holy Land of the Trinity. And then Osiris itself, it's basically the Holy Land of the Trinity, and it is the Holy Land of the Trinity, and this is the headquarters of one of the biggest religions in the world. And the religion basically is practically everywhere except for the Luvian nation, Sumerians, and some of the Merchant Republic. Wishopt, which is basically it's almost impossible to get into this nation because it's all completely covered by hills, high hills that are almost like mountains. And this is the secret spot headquarters of the Dark Brotherhood, the rival organization that's trying to stop Kyle. And then we have North Point, which isn't really that important. It's basically just the headquarters of the Research and the Development Center for the world government. So the story of D Hunter. I want to basically try to make the story go and flow through the entire world. So basically, the first few chapters of the story, the first chapter being the origin story, is going to start in Wave Island and eventually move on through the Merchant Republic. And I believe he'll pick up a companion. Yeah, he'll pick up a companion here. Maybe. Who knows? And then the Tribal Woodlands, obviously he'll pick up his archer, Snipe. Snipe lives in the Tribal Woodlands. And this is where Cal and Snipe meet. And then we'll go to the Luvian. The Luvian is an entire nation of elves. And this is also the place where one of my main characters, Ace, the Swordsmaster, lives. His clan is basically one of the biggest tribal clans within the Luvian and the most important. And this is where Kyle and Ace meet. And then from here, they'll go to the Kingdom of Westmist, up to the Karima Imperium. And I'm planning, basically, this is around the area where the first part of the story is going to end. And Then the second part is gonna start around here, around either the kingdom or savage lands, and they'll go through the Cyrus, Sumerian, and then North Point. And basically, I'm not sure yet, but maybe the journey will come into an end at Wishop, but I'm not sure yet. That might change. But yeah, that's basically the route of the story. So, what is a D-Hunter? Many people have messaged me and wanted to know what a D-Hunter is. But basically, a D-Hunter is a person chosen by the Light Force, which is their weapon that they wield. They're chosen, and they're basically given powers like super strength, the ability to sense the darkness within people's like souls, and they're meant to use the Light Force to basically cut through their souls and kind of purify them of their taint. And the sword itself, to accomplish this, is basically able to transform to the will of the user or the D-Hunter who's holding the sword at that time. And so it could basically change into anything they desire. The only problem is that the more complicated the transformation, the more energy the D-Hunter has to use. And so most D-Hunters fight with a limited transformations, so they don't tire out too quick in the battle. Yeah, and their job is basically to purify or to get rid of the taint within the world. So by doing that, they save the world from literally destroying itself. And that's basically what a D-Hunter is supposed to do. A D-Hunter, like Kyle, or what a D-Hunter, the D actually stands for dark. So the full name is really Dark Hunters. And Kyle's role in this is basically he's supposed to find 7 keys that were left behind by the last D-Hunter. And they're basically, he needs to find them and destroy them so that the Dark Brotherhood doesn't open the gate in which the apocalypse will start. And basically he's supposed to find these keys, destroy them, and by doing that he saves the world. But along the way, of course it's going to be hard. And he meets a lot of people, he meets companions, his friends, and he'll eventually see how hard it is and stuff like that. And yeah, the rest of this will be in his character description. But basically, that is what he's supposed to do in the story. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for those who subscribed and liked the video and favorite the videos that I've done so far. And if you haven't, and if this is your first time watching, please subscribe for more. It helps me out a lot, and it helps the project grow and the channel grow. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.